Hey everyone, welcome back to Evony with Genghis. So, wanted to talk to you guys today about how to select gear, but specifically, I'm making a reinforcing Siege General. So, I want to have 3 Siege General pairings. I did a video the other day on Edward Teach and being an excellent assistant, and because of that, I was like, hey, I could make a 3rd Siege General pairing to help out with reinforcements in my teams. So I've made Patreus. Is that his name? Patronus, not General Patreus. Patronus. Anyways, he has no gear. He's not cultivated. I will cultivate him this event when there's a gem reward, and then I'll do it. So anyways, he has no gear. So what do I do? How do I figure out which gear I'm going to use? And I'm not going to use civilization gear. I'm going to use strictly Achaemenid and Ares, and it's going to be for reinforcing. So I could go into my civilization gear and I could look at all this stuff and see what would help. And obviously, so some people are going to say, hey, you should be using this. Like, yeah, but the thing is, I already have 2 siege generals and a wall general, and I'm using lots of my civ gear. I do have open civ gear as well, or scrolls that I'm not using currently. I could use on any of these. I will go through those after and see what I'm going to be doing with them, but I want to save most of them for debuff gear, something I really want to start working on more. And anyways, let's get back to the siege general. But this can apply for any general. How do you decide what you want to use? So basically, I'm only picking between Ares and Achaemenid. We already decided that. But if you were using Civ gear, you would do the same. And instead of just searching here, you'd also go over into Civilization gear and compare the buffs. So let's first look at the axe, the weapon. That's going to be the easiest thing to put on our general. So let's look here. This one has siege attack and marching siege attack. Now, one thing that we do have to consider here is if I'm willing to not go with all Achaemenid gear, that means I'm giving up these set buffs, right? And the Achaemenid gear has the nice debuff for 6 out of 6, a minus 15%. I'm not going to get that. So let's start looking at what gear I need. And I have to look at the words that it says here too, right? So marching will work when reinforcing. So will reinforcing, obviously. So will just normal stuff like siege machine attack. So will in city. Now, now that we have this has marching siege HP and siege attack. So this is going to be the easiest one to compare because there's only 2 options. So now we're going to look at the axe. And here, this one has only siege attack. And then it has 2 debuffs. And then it has in-city ground defense. So obviously the one with siege HP is going to be better. So let's go and look at our general and gear him up. Now the only problem is I'm going to do something that I just went against. I'm actually going to be putting the Achaemenid axe on him, not the Ares axe. But the only reason is because I already have the axe made. Okay, I'm kind of saving materials because I'm trying to get those 3 gold dragons deco for 6 dragons at level 15, and I'm very, very close to it. So I only have 1 dragon to go, and he's at level 14. So I'm kind of saving materials for that, and once that's over, I'm gonna fix it. But at least I have my plan. So he now has an axe. Now I have some other gear here. So I have a courageous Achaemenid armor. And let's see if there's anything better than this. So now I'm going to have to look at 4 different types of armor. So this one has siege attack and siege defense, and it's pretty good. It has siege machine attack debuff. So siege attack and siege debuff. I'm going to put it on, and then we'll go and look and see if anything is better than that. I have a feeling it's not. That's kind of why I saved those ones on the side. So let's take a look here. And this one's ground. This is the one we're using, siege. So now let's look at the Ares options, equipment upgrade. And we go over to the chest plate here. And this one has no siege. And this one loses all its siege. It has no siege also. So Some of them lose refining skills. Let me show you for a second here. So what I was talking about losing them. So if we go over to the dragons here, is it this one? One of them here. Yeah, this one has siege HP, and then when you upgrade it, the siege HP is gone. So that kind of sucks. There is really no Ares piece for siege generals. So now let's go over and see what would be our option here for boots. And I have two courageous boots. Luckily enough, one of them has, it actually has siege refines. So I know I'm going to be using this, but this one has siege HP and in-city siege attack. That's going to work for reinforcing. Okay, so let's put that on. And now let's compare the boots and make sure that we chose the correct one. Is there anything else that has 2 siege refines? So if we go over to the boots here, this one doesn't. This one is the one we're using. And this one does not. Now we're going to go over in here and we're going to take a look at the Achaemenid boots. There is no siege buffs and no siege buffs. So we're on the right track. So you should be doing this every time you're choosing what gear you want to use, adding them up and then looking at how the set piece buffs work. Like, is it worth it to drop the 6 out of 6 to combine a different type of gear in there? I get this question so many times about that. And it's pretty simple, guys. Just take a look and do the math. So here, Fearless Ares Helmet, Ares. We have a siege machine attack that will work anywhere on the map. And unfortunately, it has range HP refines. And are they flats? Yes, they are. So I actually use this one on my backup archer general, which is flats. But so we won't change these refines but I will use it because this is more important for me to have a 3rd siege general. And then when I finally finish that dragon, I'll start crafting the gear that I want and just make replicas. So let's look at this one again. Fearless Ares Helmet. It only has 1 siege and it's siege attack. Now let's go and look and see upgrade. So all the different Ares ones. And here is actually the helmet we're using. And then this helmet has siege machine defense. So there could be a case to be made, but I have this one made already, and typically for siege, attack is going to be more important. But now let's look at the helmets. Is there an Achaemenid piece that can rival it? So this one has none, and this one has none. So it looks like I have the proper gear on him. And now let's look at the pants. And what do we have here? So this is not a siege one. This one has siege attack and no siege refines, borrowing it from someone else. So let's put them on. So we have pants, Achaemenid with 22% siege machine attack. Now let's take a look at what we have for the other Achaemenid pants. And we have HP, pretty important. They're both good. This one has a siege machine attack debuff, so it's probably going to be more important. It also debuffs range, which is going to be a possible troop that is attacking if I'm reinforcing with siege machine. So that would kind of make that kind of an important decision maker for me there. Let's look at the Ares pants. Anything compelling here? We have a siege machine attack, and we have nothing. So it looks like pretty much a wash there. So I'm pretty happy with what I've chosen. And now for the ring. What do you choose here? Here's the Fearless ring, and here's the Courageous ring. Siege machine attack, but the all-important siege machine attack range. So don't make a mistake here. If this is only your first siege machine general or your second siege general, you could be using civilization gear. But I already have 2 siege generals who are both using civilization gear, the Abyss bracers and the high end bracers. So my 15% are gone. So I have no choice but to use this 10%er. And luckily it's already refined for me. So I'm going to put that on. But let's compare it to the Fearless rings. So here we are. This one has the siege machine bonus. It does go up to 10%. It also has the siege machine attack, 10%. And then this one has no siege. But let's look at how we've chosen this one as well. And this one also will reduce enemy range, which is going to be, like I said, something that will be attacking if I'm reinforcing with siege. And the refines are done already, so easy choice for me. So I went with 4 Achaemenidae, which will give me, in the set piece buffs, all troop attack 10%. And then here, attacking troop attack. And so I'm of the belief that this does not work in reinforcing situations or in city situations or in building situations where you're playing defense. It has been brought to my attention yesterday, actually, in my Discord, that someone says there has been a change and that marching and attacking do work in all situations. I can't verify that, but I'm just letting you guys know that some people are of the belief that this will work. But I'm going ahead with this combo of the belief that it doesn't work, because this 15% doesn't play a big factor to me. For me, the most important part is that I actually got more siege refines on the gears. So that's how I decided to do my generals, and or my 3rd siege general. These are the things that went through my mind when I'm doing it. And like I said, when I'm done this final dragon, I'll show you it right now. So it is laden. So he's almost at 14. You can see him at 111 out of 120. Might be able to finish him off at the next dragon feeding event or very soon after. As soon as that's done, I'm then going to get back into crafting gear, which I have seriously been lacking at. So anyways, let me know in the comments you agree with how I did this, my thought process. Would you have went with something else? And do you agree that attacking troop attack does work in non-attacking situations? So like, subscribe, leave a comment.